Daniel, congratulations. You must be delighted to receive another award for Manager of the Month. Well done.
Yes, Manager of the Year would not be bad, but of course I take it and take it also like as a reward for the whole group, for the whole staff and a group of players for excellent February. We've won each and every of our games and brought us in a really good position, but. Yeah, it's football. It's not just the season doesn't go for 1 month and the perfect February. You also have to make sure that in all the other months you're also on the top level, and for that, the focus is already on the next game. Also to be there, with good games, the upcoming games in March, April, May. So in order to make sure that we are successful in the end.
I know, Danny, you want it to be at the end of the season, but you've won a few of these things now. What do you do with them? Do you pass them around the staff, or do you send them home, or what?
They're in a cupboard. I don't see them that often. Of course, I clean them anyhow, so that nothing happens. But it's not like I stare at them each every day. So one day, 30 years, when you're sitting on the sofa with a good glass of wine and the fire is on, perhaps you open the cupboard and think about, okay, what has happened? But at the moment, I'm not in a review or reflection mode anyhow. I'm just like looking forward to be prepared for the next game. So at the moment, I don't value them that much like I perhaps should do, but there's no time to do it.
But it does reflect that there's good things happening here. And not least, Dan James gets an award too. And, many are saying that he's really the player of the Championship, pound for pound, in any position this year. I mean, how much has he really kicked on for you this year?
Yes, I think he's excellent for us and outstanding performer on this level. I think it's difficult to compare the different position because you're, of course, a bit more in the spotlight once you're an offensive player and who delivers end products, goals, assists, instead of perhaps a defender or centre back or a goalkeeper or holding midfielder. So for that, I would say it's really difficult to compare who is the best player in the Championship because they're different positions and scenarios, but he's definitely right up there. I think he's doing excellent, also shows his consistency and for us a very important player with many goals, assists, really good performances, also with consistency in his performances, and he fully deserves also to be in the spotlight. Right now, I'd get all the plaudits. He's excellent for us.
Is he the epitome of what you need to be a top-level professional footballer, providing Leeds get to the Premier League, of course? Because, he was cast away a bit. He had to go to Fulham, came back, he could have sulked, but he's now at the top of his game.
Yes, all credit goes to him and his hard work, his dedication. So I'm a big believer in you always get what you're willing to invest, at least perhaps not always on the short term, but definitely on the mid and the long term. And you're rewarded by doing this. And Daniel is outstanding player, special with his skills, of course, but what is has at least the same importance as his personality. He's an unbelievable great lad, a great teammate, always thinking about the team, also works his socks off for the team, and also is willing to improve individually. So he's still on his way more like up the hill and not down the hill and just like no, I just want to have a relaxed life. He's consistently working in order to improve. You could see this also in his goal tally or end product tally, for example. I think he has improved a lot also, especially in the last couple of years, and this is totally due to his workload and his work ethic. And yes, he has to keep going, because he has proven right now that he's one of the best players on this level, and he has to prove right now that he's also capable to bring us to success anyhow. So individually top class, but to have a promotion under your belt, this is always something that you want to have also as a player, and for that he has a chance during this season to make this happen, and hopefully he can also help to fulfill.
We can debate the merits of this weekend. You've got Burnley and Sheffield United playing first, and you will go second, if you like, on Sunday. But it does give you extra time to make sure that everybody's all right. Have you got some good news regards the team and the fitness this week? I mean, we know that there's been some long-standing injuries.
Yes, good news is more or less that everyone who was available for the last game is also available for this upcoming games, at least as it stands. So definitely good news. So all were able to recover from few little hits and knocks out of the last game. Yes, some good news with Patrick Bromford. He was part integrated into team training during this week. Yes, obviously he will last a little bit. He was out for I think 9 or 9.5 weeks till he's really back to his match fitness and really a topic also for the match day squad. But he was able to handle the load, at least to be part integrated so far. So for that, good news with him. He's making progress, and also the rehab of Ethan Ampadu and Max Wöber are working well. We are still hopeful that we have them more or less like on the other side of the international break. They won't feature for us before the international break, but there's a chance that at some point then after the international break they will join us, and we have them available then at least for a number of games for the run in. That's at least we are still hopeful. Also with Max, it's more or less pretty clear that it will hopefully work out. With Ethan, like I said, there is still an opportunity that he needs surgery. So, but at the moment it looks good, and at the moment it looks like he could be also a topic for the run-in.
And is that the same for Ethan at the moment? Because I know you're
for
waiting
Ethan,
on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For Ethan. So for Ethan, for Max, I think it will. It's pretty likely that he will join us for the run-in, and for Ethan. Again, there is still the danger of a surgery, but at the moment it looks good. The rehab, he's making good progress, and if it works for on like this, then there is a chance that we have him available also for the run-in.
Daniel, what's the trick with Portsmouth this weekend? Because they're blighted in defence. They've lost a lot of players through injury, but they do have threats, particularly Murphy and Ritchie, and they're in that position where another couple of wins might really help keep them in the Championship. So what's the trick this weekend for you to dealing with them?
Yes, well done. First of all, to them, they dealt also with some setbacks in terms of some injuries, also of important players, really well for a newly promoted side to be right now. I think 8 points clear of the relegation place is a good position to be in. Especially their home form is impressive. They've won the last 2 home games. Yes, and also against the top sides in this league, they have delivered some really good performances. Remember our first game against them, I think. Also away at Bramall Lane, they showed a really good performance that they drew against Burnley. So impressive. Also, I think before the Luton game, 3 wins on the spin. So we know it's a dangerous side and a really good side, especially in home games. And I expect also resilience from them, and that they will try to use also their excited home crowd and their stadium, and in order to win further on points. They probably know that they need to win perhaps 2 more games in order to be allowed to stay in this league, and of course they want to do this as quick as possible, as of course in their home games. And yes, when you play the league against the league leaders and against Leeds United, then everyone is even a bit more up to it. So I expect really a tough game for us, and a very physical game. It's a pretty aggressive side, and also many experienced players. They know exactly what you need to do in order to survive, also like in a relegation battle. So they have players who have the knowledge about this. So for that, I expect a pretty pragmatical Portsmouth side who is also knows exactly what they have to do. And for that, yes, we need to be ready also for battles at times, because we need to have some answers to their physicality and also their directness and their transition moments and quality and experience of their offensive players, the likes of Murphy, of Bishop. Ritchie plays in a more advanced role, so they have really quality also in these positions, and players who can deliver goals and assists. Yes, and on the other hand, then also in the periods when we have the ball and dominate the ball, to find some good solutions against a pretty compact side who is well structured. So in many areas we have to be really at the top of our game. We know we can do this, but we have to prove it again in a really difficult away game.
Thank you. Great.
Hey Daniel, did the players get any time off this week, or has it just been work as usual?
Yeah, so Monday and Tuesday were relaxed, so it's also important to calm the load a bit down after after a busy period with many games and also many emotional games, not just from the physical side but also from the mental side. In the last games they had to rest a lot, this late turnarounds of the games, and to play against Sunderland, against Sheffield, West Brom, good side. So it was important also to let them recharge a bit and clear their head. But then obviously we start our normal setup and normal process to prepare for the game. And especially last 3 days, were then also like lots of physical load and lots of preparation and also exercise to prepare them for the upcoming challenges. And I hope we found a good mix.
Is it easier to give players time off when you're at this point of the season and the players know the processes, they know the football inside out by now, and they're in a good rhythm?
Not easier, but sometimes it's necessary. So with the experience as a manager, you create more a sense on one. You need also to let them also have a day off, or let them recharge a bit more instead of always like pushing, and then you're perhaps even over motivated, or like a candle you've burned from both sides and you don't have the energy again. So I was during this stage, I'm not fearing that much that they don't know exactly where we are on the table, and that they use also like a day off in a mindful and senseful way. So that they don't do any stupid things and whatever, travel for 24 hours somewhere else in different climate zone or whatever. So especially once you edge closer to the crunch time period of the season, then you know, okay, the players know exactly what they have to do in order to be successful. And if it would be the other way around, if I couldn't trust my players also to handle the day off in a sensible way, then we're lost anyway. So then we have no chance anyway. So they are also mature and adults, and they don't need me to look after them like in a nursery. So of course you speak about what is necessary, and they have leadership for me more or less in so many days during the season. It's also sometimes important also like to allow them to be themselves, and they are all mature, and they are all have their families. Many of them even have children. They are responsible for their kids, so you can also trust them what to do on a day off. Yes.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi,
Matteo, obviously, when he came on against West Brom, he had a really good stint before he had his knock. Very direct running. Is that more of what he has to try and do in order to try and challenge for a starting spot? Is that what you're looking for?
In general, the attitude to come on and to use each and every second once you're on the pitch to impress. This is what I want to see. And also once an offensive player comes on, that he's not like speculating and cheating a bit in the work against the ball and just waiting. Okay, I wait for my big moment to score a goal and to assist. Not just for Matteo, but for all the offensive players especially. Because quite often when you come in on a substitute, you have a bit the tendency, want to make an impact with the spotlight moment. But it will never come if you just wait for it and just lurking and cheat a bit in the work that is necessary for the team. And this is what I liked about Matteo's last performances, that he puts in all the energy and invests a lot in order to carry the ball forward, and invests a lot in putting intensity against the ball also into the game. He was excellent in his pressing and his workload to hold the ball up, and then automatically it's more like goals and assists are coming your way. This is also the way he was able to score goals and to assist in the beginning of the season. Yet then a period when it dipped a little bit, and we spoke about this, and especially in the last weeks when he came on, he had a real impact by exactly returning back to his best behavior, and his best behavior is always when he puts intensity in this, and then it's always the same. So when you don't think too much about the goals, when you think more about like working for the team, then goals will come automatically and assists will come automatically. If you're thinking just about yourself, it never comes along. Then. But especially in the last weeks, I was pleased once I brought him in, because he always had a really important impact for us with his workload, and he created space for his teammates. When I think about, for example, our goal of Joel Pirot away at Bramall Lane, it was the run of Matteo who created the space, and then Joel had the reward with a great strike from the box line. So I was quite pleased. Yes, with his last performances, yes.
Thank you. And just generally on the substitutes, how difficult is it to keep those on the bench happy when perhaps they're not starting as often as they would like? What's the message to them?
Well, I can't keep them happy because each and every player is just happy when he plays each and every second. I know that they're unhappy when they're not playing, when they're not in the starting lineup, or when they are substituted, or they come in just for a few minutes, or not at all. Of course, I can't keep them happy, but I've mentioned several times before, I'm not here to win the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm here to win football games, and this is how professional football works. Deep inside, I'm also a human being, and deep inside, I love my players, and I'm not a robot, and they are no robots. And when a player is delivering really, really well in training, then sometimes, to not bring him on the pitch. We had this, with Willie a few weeks ago, or like in the last games was, I think, Largy, for example, who didn't come on, or Isaac, who had really good cup games, for example, and he didn't come on as a substitute, as a fullback, for example. It also hurts, because I know how desperate the players are to help to support the teams. But what I love about my group at the moment, so even players who are on the bench or not on the pitch at all, you got the feeling once we score a goal or we are there with a decisive tackle, they celebrate sometimes even more than the players on the pitch. You could feel that they are. And I've worked also in groups, with groups, and also during my time as a player, when you got the feeling, okay, the players on the bench, they are more or less sometimes happy when there is a poor performance or we are not winning, because this increases your chances then to be involved. With this team, I got the feeling, no, they are not thinking about just themselves. Of course, they want to play, but they are more thinking about the group, and this is what I like. Also like. About a player like Willie, when he was not coming in, then he was celebrating with the team, and then he came in, for example, at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United away, and had a really good impact. And this is just the only thing it works. It's more like, come on, make sure then in the next training week and the next training days, you respond even more, you work even harder, that everyone realizes, no, you're ready to be prepared. And then there comes a moment, and then you use the chance to make an impact. But I totally have the same feeling with my players. So the spirit, the vibe within this group is really second to none, I have to say. And this is what I really appreciate. And again, I'm also still a human being. It hurts when I can't fulfill all the expectations. But it comes up with the territory where we are professional football. It comes up with my role that sometimes also have to disappoint a player, not just because I want to disappoint them. It's more like because my main task is to win points, and for that, sometimes I have to take also tough decisions.
Sure. And Daniel, from a manager's perspective, how important is the experience you've had before in this situation? And are there any really big lessons that jump out at you from past experiences that you've really learned from?
I think experience is very important, and it's just beneficial, both experiences. So thank God I was already during my time as a manager, I think 7 or 8 times I was allowed to win to fight for winning a title and winning promotion, and I think 5 times during my career I've done this already. But there were also 2 times when I ended as a runner-up in Germany. Yeah, here it would be enough for automatic promotion, so in the German lower league, 4th tier or whatever, so it was not enough to be promoted. Sometimes even out of these experiences, you learn also a little bit. So first title race, ended up as runner-up, and this was an important experience to know, okay, there are a few things that you could do better and where we could invest a bit more, and we could act perhaps in some situations in a different way in order to win the title. And once you've done this, then also a few times, and you know what it's necessary to bring it over the line, of course it helps. Anyhow, it also it's good for the confidence and for the belief, also for the players, if I'm honest. But sadly, it's also not a guarantee that you will do it again. So you have to prove it each and every time again, and each and every season is different. And just because I've won a few times the title and promotion, it's not a guarantee that we will do this also during this season. So we will have to work very, very hard in order to do the same again. And for that, there is no time for any arrogance or complacency or just being too confident in yourself. So even me, I'm still switch on and focus and ask myself, okay, what can I do better? What do I have to do in the next days? And but experience is definitely a factor that helps, yes.
And different people are motivated in different ways. Are you one of those people who remembers the disappointments more sometimes than the successes and are motivated by not experiencing that again?
I think both is important. I think sometimes it's important out of disappointment to take really big motivation. I remember it was like the German giant Bayern Munich in the dramatic Champions League final. They lost against a different club in the 94th minute, and it was heartbreaking anyhow because they had one hand already on the title. But the group stick together and they take another run, and next season they won the Champions League. And it's a bit like, yes, we had also a dramatic last finish last season. So this disappointment you don't want to have again that you feel, and you take extra motivation out of this. But on the other hand, also out of the good moments, there are not too many in our room, but a few of us, at least in the coaching staff, know how good it feels also to lift the title and to be on the open bus tour anyhow. So also like there is no replacement for this winning feeling in the dressing room, and everyone knows how important it is anyhow. And to take something and extra motivation out of this, I think both situations are important. To take extra motivations out of disappointments, but also that you want to have this winning feeling back and that you are greedy to have this again. I think both topics are very, very motivational, and we try to use both.